Welcome students. Today our topic of discussion is structure of cell organelle. In this sections we will be mainly dealing with the different organelles of cell and their structures and functions, how they are regulating our different functions in our cells. Okay. So first of all, let us discuss about what are cells. Cells are the basic unit of all living things. Cell uh, Basically our body is made up of the unit which is known as the cells. Okay, cells are the basic unit of all living organisms, and they are responsible for conducting different type of functions in our bodies. Okay, now all organisms are made up of one or more cells. The cell is the basic unit of all living organisms. So our cells, the each and every unit of our body is a cell, and that cell is responsible for controlling our different functions of our cell. Okay, now there are basically two types of cells. One is prokaryotic cell and one is eukaryotic cell. I think you must be already knowing about these two terms, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. But I am considering the for the students who have not heard about these two types of cells. Okay, so the first one is the eukaryotic cell and the second one is the prokaryotic cell. Now the prokaryotic is the primitive one, eukaryotic is the advanced one. Okay, prokaryotic cells are basically the cells of the virus, bacteria, microbe, some primitive type of organisms who are not that much developed like that of your eukaryotic cell, and they are also, but that individual cell is capable of carrying out all the functions necessary for a particular cell to grow. Okay, so you can see the structure here. This is the cross sectional view of the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. In eukaryotic cell, see, this is the blue part is the nucleus, and that is the main you can say the head office of the cells, the main controlling unit. Then endoplasmic reticulum, the this net like portion. This er is also very important. This er is responsible for protein synthesis and all. Then ribosomes, they are also responsible for protein synthesis. Right, then ribosome dots, then your mitochondria, then this is cell membrane. Now the covering of the cell is known as the blue lining, or the covering of the cell is known as the cell membrane. And the mitochondria is also important because mitochondria is an organelle which is responsible for producing different function within the body. And this is the structure of the prokaryotic cell. This is primitive one. The red portion is the capsule, the second one is the cell wall, the third green portion is the plasma membrane. So you can say that the prokaryotic cell wall is very much more developed. I mean, three layers are present, but in here only one layer is present. See, and but the interior portion, uh, is somewhat primitive, or is not that much advanced in that of eukaryotic cell. And ribosomes, plasmids, and the other organelles are also present in the particular type of a organism. Okay. Now moving on to the detailing of the prokaryotic cell. First of all, we should read about prokaryotic. Then only we can understand the concept of eukaryotic. Because from prokaryotic only, from through evolution, eukaryotic has developed. Okay. Now this is the structure of the prokaryotic cell, which I have already shown in the last slide. It is a single celled organism that does not have a nucleus and a membrane bound organelle. You can see there is no nucleus. We have a nucleus here, but there is no nucleus here. Okay, and nuclear membrane bound organelles are also not there. Organelles means the organs basically. Okay, see the organelles are floating in the cytoplasm. All these things are not that much observed in the your prokaryotic cell. Now coming to the eukaryotic cell, there are four classes of eukaryotic cells. Now we will be mainly discussing about the plant and animal cells. This is the structure of plant cell and this is the animal cell. The picture is not that clear. I am not going into the detail of each of the parts because in the next slides we will be talking about each of the components in detail. Okay. Now coming to the functions of the cell organelles. First organelle we will be talking about is the cell membrane. Cell membrane means, you all know membranes means what? Covering or the outer layer of anything which is protecting the inside machinery. Okay. So cell membrane is responsible for covering of the body of the inside of the cell, and it gives some mechanical support. Okay. So the outermost covering of the cell that separates the content of the cell from its external environment is known as the cell membrane. As you can see, there in this structure, uh, so many membranes are there: plasma membrane, cell wall, capsule. All of them are together known as the cell membrane. Okay. Now it is selectively permeable and is made up of bilayer of lipoprotein. That means they are selectively permeable. That means selectively permeable means they allow some particles to enter through them. They do not allow all the particles to move through them, because if they will allow them to move, then some problem will be cropped up, isn't it? So they are selectively permeable. That means they are selectively allowing some particle to move through them, and it's made up of bilayer of lipoprotein. Bilayer of lipoprotein means there are two layers of lipoprotein present. The cell membrane holds the cell together and allows the nutrient into the cell. Okay. Now, what does this term means? For this, we need to explain the diagram. See this diagram. This is structure of the membrane. Basically, this side is cytoplasm and this side is the outside. There is the extracellular fluid, and this is the membrane. In microscopic view, actually, this blue portion is the protein channels, and then integral proteins. Then the yellow portion you can see are the cholesterol or the fat present. They have to, here it is mentioned bilayer of lipoprotein. That means there are two layers of lipoprotein present, isn't it? So two layers of lipoprotein means there are two layers of lipid layers are present. Okay, lipoprotein, combination of protein and lipid is present in the cell membrane. Okay, beside that there are many other components present like glycoprotein, carbohydrate, then your surface protein. All these things are also present in the cell membrane. Now moving on to the next organelle, that is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is nothing but uh, the fluid in which all the organelles are floating. Okay, you have seen now in the eukaryotic cell a matrix type of the thing is there, isn't it? In that matrix, all the your cell components are moving, isn't it? So you can see, you can understand that your all the things get used up and all the things are being floating in the cytoplasm. Okay, now what happens is that the fluid or matrix content of the inside the cell, plasma membrane of a cell along with the cell organelle is known as the cytoplasm. Okay, now this is the structure of the cytoplasm. You can see in the this is jelly type of a material in which all the organelles are moving. Okay, then moving on to the next component, that is mitochondria. Mitochondria is an important organelle because mitochondria is the powerhouse of cell. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of cell because mitochondria is responsible for producing energy inside a cell. Okay, mitochondria is responsible for producing energy inside the cell of a particular organism. Okay, they are the main source of your energy. Okay, now moving on to, it is a cell organelle found in large numbers in most cells in which the biochemical processes of respiration and energy production occurs. It has a double membrane and the inner part of being folded inwards in the form of layers called cristae. Okay, so the as I mentioned that this mitochondria is responsible for production of huge amount of energy inside our body. So this energy is known as this energy producing organelle is also known as the powerhouse of the cell, and it is a double membrane bound system, and the inner part being folded towards to form a layer of cells called the cristae. Okay, so the inner membranes are folded like a finger like a thing. See this inner membranes are folded and the cristae, and it is known as the cristae. Okay, so this is the structure of the mitochondria. It is a matrix in which the cristae are present, and this inside this cristae, this different type of energy production is going on, and molecules of ATP synthesis are been synthesized in this type of materials, and then inner membrane is also there and outer membrane are also there, and on the matrix all the things are dipped in. Okay, so moving on to the next type of organelle. Now, okay, before moving on to the next one, let's talk about the functions of mitochondria. Functions of mitochondria is very important because it is a site for respiration. You all know the inhalation and exhalation of air in our body is very important for our survival, the breathing. So it is the site for respiration, and the energy required for various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP molecules. Okay, so this is the site of respiration. That means what? Your all your chemical activities and the what is required for in the form of ATP molecules are released into the environment for the all the production of energy is being conducted in the inside the cell. Okay, inside the mitochondria, and ATP is also formed. You I have explained you in the last two. No, you have not explained with your people. I have done it with the EC students that ATP. What is ATP? Basically, ATP is the energy compound. That is a compound in which all the sorry, there's a interruption in the network connection. Resuming my lecture again. Um, we were talking about the respiration of how the function of mitochondria is responsible for the carrying out different type of functions. The energy required for our body is mainly uh, formed by inside the mitochondria, and it is formed in the form of ATPs, and it is very important for conduction of different type of functions in our life. Okay, they have their DNA and ribosome, due to which they are able to make some of their own proteins, thus they regarded as semi-autonomous organelle. Okay, I have mentioned another term for the name of the mitochondria, that is powerhouse of cell. um, Beside that also, another important function of this mitochondria is that it contains many organelle, which makes it independent of all other organelle. Okay, so that so for that reason, this particular organelle is known as semi-autonomous organelle. Okay, that means the organelle which is responsible for your um, who are responsible for carrying out their own function. So they are also known as semi-autonomous organelle. Okay. So nucleus is the main center for the growth of the cell and the largest organelle in the cell, and it is the I have told you that it is like the head office or the headquarter of the cell, and it is responsible for all the function carrying out. Okay, and it also contains the cell's DNA. That means the hereditary portion, the chromosome, everything is being present inside this nucleus. Now this is structure of nucleus, and it is surrounded by some membranes, nuclear membrane, and the main nucleus, and the pores are also there. Okay, now the function of nucleus is also very important. We need to understand it. It helps in the inheritance. I have already mentioned that as DNA molecules and chromosomes are present inside the nucleus, so this function of nucleus is very important, and as they are responsible for conducting all type of hereditary functions inside the body. Okay, it controls which protein and what amount it will be synthesized in the cell, and it plays a central role in the cell division also. Okay, so it is responsible for carrying out cell division. That is how from one cell another cell is getting divided. I have already taught you cell division in my previous classes. Then this function is also performed by the nucleus. Then they are also synthesizing the protein responsible for different functions. They also play a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way of the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity. That means nothing but the whole functionality, whole uh, overall working condition of the cell, or overall working of the cell is controlled by the nucleus. Okay, all the happenings, all the production of proteins, signal transductions, many things are being controlled by this particular organelle, that is the nucleus. Okay, now nucleolus, it is a part of the nucleus only. It inside the nucleus there is another organelle called the nucleolus. It is responsible for making ribosomes. So nucleolus is the center where the ribosomes are synthesized. Okay, now vacuoles. Vacuoles is also very important organelle. They are storage sacs for solid and liquid contents. Okay, so vacuoles are, they are the storage sacs for solid and liquid content and bounded by unit membranes. See, this is the structure of the vacuole. Basically, this green structure is basically the total cell. This is the outer membrane, and this is the this light blue colored portion is the vacuole, and you can see this blue strip is the Golgi body and endoplasmic reticulum. This purple thing is the nucleus. Okay, now vacuole is the basically the sacs, or the, it is like a container. Okay, it is a empty container type of a thing. It may contain some gas vacuole, it may also contain some liquid content, then bounded by a unit membrane. Then it can, they are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents bounded by a unit membrane. That means it is covered by single layer of membrane. Okay, in animals they are present in large number but their size are small, but plants are very few but the size is large. So plant vacuoles are very less but they are large in size, but in animal there are many vacuoles available but their size is small. Okay, so vacuoles are the main container type of function. They contain gas vacuoles, they contain some enzymes. They are also responsible for phagocytosis, that means engulfing of different type of infections or intruders inside the cells. Okay, now functions of vacuoles, they storage sac for cells. I have already mentioned, it is like a bag of the cell or the open container in which you can store any type of food, any type of enzyme, any type of gas or liquid type of components. Okay, so these are, they act as a storage function for the particular type of cell. Many important functions like amino acid, sugar, various organic acids, some proteins like are present in the vacuoles, okay, of plants. In single cell organisms like amoeba, food vacuole contain the food item that the amoeba has consumed. Amoeba is the bacteria basically. So what is the function of the amoeba? What they do in amoeba, the food vacuoles, basically in amoeba the vacuoles acts as the food container, or what they're eating they are stored inside the food vacuoles. Okay, so in some unicellular organisms, specialized vacuoles also play important roles in expelling excess water and waste from the cell. So in what happens, specialized vacuoles also play important roles in expelling excess water and waste from the cell. So what is happening? Your unicellular organisms have different function. They expel excess water and waste from the cell through the vacuoles. Okay, so these are the functions of vacuoles. Now coming to an important organelle, that is endoplasmic reticulum. It is a large network of membrane bound tubes and sheets. It looks like a long tubules or round or oblong wax. Now this endoplasmic reticulum, you can see the structure, it is a bit complex structure. The purple thing is the it is surrounding the nucleus, and the purple portion is known as the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the light pink type of part is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. What happens, why it is called rough? Because ribosomes are present on the surface. Why it is called smooth? Because ribosomes are absent. Okay, so what is happening, this is a membrane bound organelle and it is responsible for many function like conduction of different type of chemicals. Many functions are there, and basically it is two types, RER and SCR we call it. Due to the presence and absence of ribosome, their structures are different. Okay, now functions, RER is responsible for protein synthesis, as because ribosomes are present. Sorry, today again we got disconnected due to some network issues. I'm trying to complete the portion which I have planned of completing. So what is the thing we were talking about? We were discussing about the functions of yes, endoplasmic reticulum. It acts as a transport material. It is responsible for synthesis of protein, and it is also responsible for the synthesis of lipid synthesis. Okay, so all these are the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. Then moving on to the next component, that is Golgi. Golgi apparatus is very important. So it is responsible for the all protein formations, synthesis of proteins and all. So this is, again, it is a bit complex type of a thing. It has many it was discovered by Camillo Golgi after the name of the scientist. It is named, and your Golgi apparatus is made up of membrane-bound vesicles present in the form of stacks, and these are known as cisterns. And these figures are this has cis phase, and it has actually chemicals or any processing starts with the cis and ends with the trans part. Okay, so Golgi apparatus, the main function of the Golgi apparatus is packaging, dispatching of the substances formed by SCR and RER. And what happens? It is actually basically Golgi apparatus is responsible for the segregation. That means, suppose a protein is synthesized, which protein will move on to the which portion of the plant or the animal is decided by Golgi apparatus. Okay, so formation of complex sugars, lysosomes, all these things are controlled by the Golgi apparatus. Okay. Now ribosomes and its functions, that means these are tiny particles present in the endoplasmic reticulum, and they are also responsible for the synthesis of proteins. And ribosomes are found in the cytoplasm, but most are attached to the ER, that means endoplasmic reticulum, which I have already discussed. Okay, so this is the diagram of ribosome: small subunit, large subunit. These are two subunits are there. These two subunits come together and the rhizome functionality occurs. So now the next important your cell organelle is the lysosomes and its function. Lysosomes are nothing. This is the picture of lysosome. Actually, these are the membrane bound cell organelle that contains digestive enzymes. So different type of enzymes are present inside the lysosomes, and these lysosomes are responsible for different type of cell getting damaged. Then lysosome may burst and the enzyme will digest cell may occur. Lysosome functions as the cell recycling compartment. So all these things are responsible for the responsible function of the lysosomes. Okay, so foreign cells or particles are present, damaged gardia, then molecules to be destroyed. So this lysosome acts as the excretion part. Okay, they store all the particles required for moving out or decomposing or killing. All these things are carried out inside the lysosomes of the particular cell. Okay, now cell wall. Sorry, cell wall is the nothing but the outer component of the plant cell basically. Okay, animal cell does not contain the cell wall. The plant cell, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called the cell wall. It lies outside the plasma membrane. What happens? This plant cell has some additional cell layer. Then, other than the plasma membrane, that cell wall is only are only present in plants, fungi, and bacteria. These are the various type of this cell wall is present mainly in the plants, and this they are responsible for giving some rigidity to the plant cells. Okay, the cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose, and they are giving the mechanical support to the cell. Now, for coming to the functional cell wall permits plants, fungi, bacteria withstand very dilute external media without bursting. That means it gives some mechanical support, as well as they allow some particles to move in and out of the cell. So these functions are also important. It has narrow pores through which fine strands of cytoplasm are able to cross the cell walls. So this narrow pores, from the narrow pores, all the cell walls can get crossed. Okay, so because of cell wall, cell can withstand any external environmental changes. That means any changes in the environment can be withstand by this type of cell walls. Okay, now coming to the last organelle, I think this is the last only. Yes, plastids. Plastids are basically, this organelle is mainly present in plant cells, not our animal cells. Okay, so they are found only in plant cells. As I have said, they are double layered membrane and contain their own DNA and ribosomes. And plastids are of three types: chloroplast, glycoplast, and chromoplast. Chloroplast are, you know all, that the green pigment of the plant is responsible for the chloroplast. They contain chlorophyll. The leucoplast are colorless. They contain some important amino acids and proteins. And chromoplast are colored plastids. Chromoplast, where it is found, you can see the different color of the flower, like orange, then purple, then your pink. All this coloring is responsible for the chromoplast organelle, and this organelle is the mainly responsible for carrying out different type of functions. Now coming to the functions of plastids, chloroplasts are most important function. The most important function of chloroplast being the presence of chlorophyll in it, because chlorophyll, as the chlorophyll are present in this type of cells, organelles, this will give you Important functionality of the photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis mainly occurs due to the presence of the chloroplast in it, and the leucoplast they store materials like starch, oils, and protein granules. They store chloroplast impart color, but I've already mentioned. Now this is the diagram of the plastid. This stack like of a thing is the your grana, and the lumen and our outer membrane is also present. This your mainly the photosynthesis occurs in this stack like thing, that is the grana. In the stoma also some part of the photosynthesis occurs. So the whole organelle is responsible for the photosynthesis of the plants. Okay, so with this our today's lecture ends about different type of cell organelles of a particular cell. What are the different functions of the cell, how are they, what are their structures, and how they are responsible for controlling different type of functions inside a cell. Okay.